Hey everybody, it's Saturday when I'm recording this. Welcome. So glad you're here with me, whether you're here live with me or on replay. Glad you're here. And please feel free to say hello, ask questions, comment below. Just a reminder before I get started. Today I will be sending out an email to everybody on my wait list for my class. So class registration starts January 5th for the Paralegal Inner Circle class. And the registration will go from the 5th to the 12th. And I've been announcing it for a couple months now, but an email will go out today to everyone, and probably a couple times a week that will have a teaching in it. Hey, hi Jemiah. And so I would make sure you're on the wait list, and that just means go back a couple videos to the description box, look for the link to my website for that class, get on the wait list. You'll find a button to sign up for that, and then you'll get an email. Okay, so I'm going to be sending emails probably just a couple times a week, all right, to remind ultimately that the class is starting in January, but most of all to do teaching in it. All right, so today is the 4th tip in a series of 8 that we're going to do. So we'll do this series, How to Get Unstuck, until next Thursday. Today is the inspiration barrier and how to get past that. We tend to think that, and not everybody, but I used to think that, well, it's just going to hit me, you know, what I should be doing. And so I'll just wait till the moment strikes. The thing is, you have to start doing your legwork, and in order to find your purpose and your path. In order, if you're looking and you're dead serious about the legal field, then it becomes, okay, now what area of law do I want to work in? That's a big question. What area do you want to work in? And that comes to you from doing research and knowing what lights your fire and what does not. What will keep your mind occupied and what will be boring as all get out. So you need to do that investigation. And one of the reasons I did all the videos on this channel is to give you that opportunity to get a handle on this career and what it really is. It is far from glamorous. That doesn't mean it's bad, but it's far from glamorous. It's a job, and you're an advocate for your attorney and for the clients, and you're in between, and you can't give legal advice. If you want to do that, you should become an attorney. So that is not your job. If you're living in the US and you want to become a paralegal, for all intents and purposes, I'll say this, it's a broad statement, but it's pretty right on target that you don't give legal advice, all right? So how do you know what your purpose is and what's going to inspire you to, number one, get off the couch or get out of where you are in not seeking it to actually seeking it? So, hey Ruth, how are you? I'm glad you're here with me. So for me, I had no idea if this was the right field for me. I had to jump into it, and I only went into it because I gave myself 2 options: legal or medical. Medical meaning I'd go into being a manager of a doctor's office. And I really did not want to deal day in, day out with the insurance companies. It was not that passion of mine. But when I looked at the legal field, and I knew less about a legal field than a doctor's office. So I decided to go for it because I had 2 aunties who had worked, one as a judge's assistant and the other as a legal secretary for years and years. And they seemed, happy with it. I'm not saying that every day was sugar-coated. It wasn't. It's a job. Okay, so no glamour involved in this. It's an administrative type of job where you get sometimes to do research, sometimes to do the things you might think are exciting, but other times it's just the same old every day. But that area of law should light your fire. So I want you to remember that. Don't expect that knowledge, just app. If you don't binge watch the videos here, and I can usually tell when people ask me questions, they're asking me questions that are covered in the videos. So that's pure laziness. You need to do the work and watch the videos and take notes. You can come over to Facebook and hang with us over there in Paralegal Coffee Talk. Most of the videos that I do over there are the same I do here because people don't like to switch. When I was given the opportunity at 9 to take piano lessons, this is what I'm glad, Ruth. There you go. Thank you. And it is for you, because it'll stay here better. And when I was given the opportunity to take piano lessons, after a couple years, I discovered that it wasn't for me, and there's nothing wrong with that. It was not a passion of mine. It really wasn't. I still have my old piano from the time my parents, I'm sure they went into debt to get me that piano. So I took for 2 years, and then I'd go down and play it in the basement. We moved to a different house, and it was a finished basement. And so I would go down there and play. But at one point, I pushed myself to learn even more and become better. But I wasn't interested in playing for people. It was a private thing. I was more interested, honestly, in singing, which I did in front of people. And now that's over with, and I'm focused on other things that light my fire. So what lights your fire, and what are you doing to go forward in it? You have to put the work in. And those inspiration barriers, it's like, I don't know what area of law I should be in. I never thought about it. Well, what will inspire you to get on Google and start researching that? Easy as pie to research different areas of law. Start doing that today and take notes. What is it about the job description that you're reading that you don't like? That's what you're finding your path and your purpose. Yes, it could be that you don't like the legal field. Now, if you're not sure, what should you do? Start moving forward towards it, and then you'll find out. What if you work in it for 2 years and you find out you don't like it? Then you're being pulled into something else. And what is that something else? Keep exploring, keep researching, and find out what it is that lights your fire. And let me tell you something, that's okay. I didn't want to be a professional piano player. So your journey compared to mine, going to be totally different. So what I did doesn't matter. I'd share my stories with you just to give you insight into the career, but my stories don't matter a hill of beans to what you're going to go through. Your story matters to you. And you focus on what your passion is. Your passion doesn't need to match mine. Your uniqueness is yours. It doesn't mesh necessarily with mine. It doesn't mimic mine. You are unique. So the question to ask yourself, I don't want to move forward. Why? I didn't want to take piano lessons anymore. Why? I didn't like it. Why don't you want to move forward? It might be, though, that you want to move forward, but fear is stopping you. Well, you can move forward with fear right by your side. So sometimes we look at fear as a stopgap. Doesn't have to be. You can keep going, moving forward with fear right by your side. So that's not a reason to stop. Most people who do it scared. So there's a very interesting podcast that I want to share with you that's not mine. And on my website, I do have podcast episodes for you to listen to. And also on an app called Castbox. I'm on there as well. I used to call it by the wrong name in my videos, but it's Cast, C-A-S-T, Box, B-O-X. But this particular podcast is Going Scared Podcast by Jessica Honegger, Honegger, I think is how you spell her name. Good one. That would be inspirational to listen to. So that inspiration, when you're inspired, then you'll be pushed forward. That's what inspiration should do. As a painter, as an abstract painter, it doesn't take much to inspire me. So if I'm looking at a lot of color, like right now I'm looking at green and brown, but if I start looking at certain things on Pinterest, or I see certain people painting on YouTube, certain colors are going to inspire me to get painting and start doing a piece of artwork for, to put out there. So what is it that will inspire you? Those inspirational things are what will catapult us. But you cannot sit and wait for that to be dropped in your lap. That does not happen. It's not going to come knocking on your door. You have to open the door and go out. So that's the picture I'm trying to give you. Don't think that other people, it was so easy for them. It was not. Let me guarantee that. Okay? I've got people on my Facebook page that were talking about, like, they're not giving up, they're going forward. I've had one person say to me just the other day, she became the second in line for the job and lost out both times. Will you keep on going even though that happens? Yeah, keep on going. That doesn't mean it's the end of the world. What will inspire you to keep on going and you get over those barriers? All right, so that is it for today. The why for stopping is very important. Why am I stopping? Why am I going forward? That's honesty within yourself, so that well, maybe this isn't for me. But honestly, I didn't know the legal field was for me or not until I got in it. And then I spent 6-7 months in it, and I thought, I like this. I like it. It's challenging. I've learned a lot. And first job, I worked 3-4 trials, and I thought, I didn't think I had it nailed, but I knew I had a lot more to learn. That's the case. That's just the way it is. So you start at square one and you keep going forward. Keep pushing those barriers down, and then read and watch things that inspire you and knock those barriers down. Okay? All right, that's it. Thank you for being here. Tomorrow will be tip number 5 in the series of how to get unstuck, and we're going to continue until we get to 8. Okay, so you are so welcome, Ruth. God bless you too, Ruth. Thank you for being here. You and Jemiah and anybody else who was here with me today, thank you so much. And anybody who watches on replay, I appreciate you all, and I will see you in tomorrow's video, probably about the same time frame. Take care. Have a good weekend. Bye.